Hi, it's rolling.
I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. I was having too much fun. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water.
Howdy everybody, and welcome to another edition of SEO Moz's Whiteboard Friday. This week I am joined by Nathan Bougia. Nathan, great to have you with us.
Nice to be here.
So Nathan is a program manager with Microsoft with Live Search. And Nathan, what would you say your job entails right now?
What would you say you do here? So my job at Microsoft is the number one, webmaster tools. So I run a small but growing team of folks who are tasked with, building the relationship with webmasters and making sure that we resolve any issues they have. So on one hand, we build the tools, and on the other hand, we kind of represent webmasters, web publishers, SEO folks inside the product group.
Interesting. So you're like the Vanessa Fox of Microsoft now, right? She started Google Webmaster Tools, and you're starting Live Webmaster Tools.
I like to think I'm the better looking version of Vanessa Fox, but you know, there are some similarities.
I have a feeling the comments are going to disagree with you, but you know, I'm going to reserve judgment. I like you both. So I wanted to ask about Live Webmaster Tools. So a couple quick things. I mean, what are the tools designed to do, and then who are they really for? Who are you designing them for, and why create them?
Okay, great questions. So I'm going to start out of order. First of all, who are they for? We're specifically designing our tools to help the needs of the largest websites and medium-sized websites first. And the reason that is we did a whole bunch of market research that basically came back and said that those are the folks who receive the most traffic from Live and are most likely to use our tools.
Gotcha.
So looking at that audience, we went out and tried to figure out, so what are their top questions that they have with Live Search? And those questions seem to be things like, am I being indexed? How can I be indexed more? Are any of my pages blocked? Stuff like that. So the first iteration of the tool was really to try and answer those questions and to get something out there. As we go forward, we'll do a lot more with the BI stuff. BI side, business intelligence. It's maybe a Microsoftism.
Probably a Microsoft.
Yeah, so we'll do a lot more with data and analysis and trying to make that actionable. We hear a lot from folks that say we don't just want data, we want data that drives action in our business.
Absolutely. And Nathan, would you say that, I mean, with Live tools now and in the future, is Live going to be building tools that are helpful for folks who are just interested in Live, or folks who are interested in search engines in general, or folks who are interested in website traffic in general?
So our tools should help you, any BI we give you will help you for every search engine. And all the guidance we give you will be at a high level that will be applicable to all search engines. Okay. But the specific tools that help us improve our search results will probably benefit Live the most at first, and then maybe we'll find ways to help that benefit everybody.
Very cool. All right. So I wanted to ask, I mean, obviously, you know, Live is kind of the most recent startup of the engines. What's the toughest part about building an engine?
So if you were to come to 3 search engines and do a search and it's 80% the same or even 90% the same, that's awesome. But to get you to switch search engines, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
Right? So that last 20%, it's not just the last 20% of relevancy. It's how do we not just get to where everybody else is today, but get beyond that? And what does that look like? So there's lots of work there.
Interesting. Very interesting. So obviously a topic that has tons and tons of controversy around it, but the paid links and penalties in Dan's situation, the feeling that I get is when I see Live take notice of you've been bad, you've been a naughty boy and you've manipulated our link structure. I get this sense that Microsoft is willing to take a little more action in terms of, you know what, I'm sorry, you're out of the index right now, you're going to have to get re-included.
Not only do we mess up your website, we also go after your Xbox Live account. Not every site that is doing paid links is a horrible site that needs to be taken down. So a lot of times what we'll do is just not value paid links when we find them. And it's really only in more egregious cases that we'll just,
say, wow, you look like you're just trying to spam the heck out of us. Yeah. So with paid links, is it something where you think eventually this is going to be a problem that gets solved, or is this just going to be something where the fight continues on and on?
That's a really good question. I think it's just like spam.
Yeah.
It will be maybe not an arms race, but an evolution on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, the easiest paid link to identify is one that's tracked through a service like the link is joeschmo'spaidlinknetwork.com/ID equals. Those are easy. The hard stuff is
Joe Schmo, he's on to you. Sorry.
We gotcha. The hard stuff is whether like social media manipulation, where it's like Bob and his 20 friends get together and they put a bunch of links in all these places, and that's much more difficult to track.
Yeah.
And that's where I see a lot of this spam going and a lot of paid link stuff going.
So wait, with social media manipulation, I just want to, and we can even cut out this other question, but I want to focus on that for a sec. So social media manipulation, let's say I manipulate something, get it to the top of Dig, and then a bunch of bloggers end up linking to it. I mean, even if I paid to get to the top of Dig through user submitter or something, aren't those blog links editorially voting for my content? I mean, just because they've seen it.
Yes. But think about it this way. If I'm a customer and I'm looking for, if I'm a customer of search, not in the industry, not a publisher, not anything, is that the most important thing that I want to see? And a lot of times when people pay for position, they don't necessarily, no matter how they get there, their content is not necessarily the best, most relevant content. And that's the big disconnect between publishers and search engines. And why we
So I mean, Google has a huge problem with this because they love social media and blog links and that kind of stuff to death.
Yeah.
I mean, Google would very publicly say, yeah, we love this viral marketing stuff. We love seeing what gets on top. And what you're saying is
there's a difference between viral marketing and I guess more orchestrated push.
Okay.
For example, I can't think of a good example. And we just talked about 6 things. But a company will do like a video, and they'll post a video out there, and somebody will do like a spoof on Microsoft.
Sure.
Someone did a spoof of our Zoom branding, the first one. Everybody's seen that.
Yeah.
That got so many hits, and I think that's a big part of why people know about Zoom and why people know about Microsoft is they're like, well, that video is really funny. I mean, even they can make fun of themselves. We actually made that video.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and we've done some other ones around our smartphone branding and our smartphone designs where we do some really silly things.
Well, and but isn't that, and that's less manipulative than what you're talking about?
Because I think so, and the reason I think it's less manipulative is because it's content that people want and that people seek out and find, versus content that is orchestrated to appear in a certain position. Are people clicking on your link because it's the first link, or are people clicking on your link because that's what they were looking for? And I think that's really, really difficult to tease out. And I think as
that's an engineering problem.
More pervasive, yeah, it's really, really hard.
I couldn't even imagine.
So,
all right. So last question, and we'll make this a little quick. But
okay.
How would you see Live building share? What are some strategies that Live might pursue to try and build market share?
Our biggest strategy right now is build the best product, and that pretty much sums up 90% of our strategy.
Okay.
We have folks that do nothing. I had this in a post a little while ago about relevancy. We use the term relevancy to mean how good our search results are.
Sure.
And everybody in our team has a shirt that says relevancy on it, and that's all they're allowed to wear.
So under the sweater.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I won't ask you to take it off.
It's kind of a muscle shirt on me, so I'm a modest guy. You know?
I appreciate that.
But yeah, you should. But we're very, very focused on relevancy. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I think all of us do. There's a lot of people who are rooting for, a bigger share, moving away from consolidation in the industry.
That year's going to start with you guys. Like, when was the last time you searched on MSN?
Oh, we just did a search for some printer drivers today,
we
right
did.
here.
Absolutely, but it's not the search we should talk about.
All right, I'll work on it.
Exactly. Cool.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks to Nathan, and we will see you next week for another edition of Whiteboard Friday.
'Cause since I come